Welcome to this week's Sunday supper. Today I am pulling ingredients out of my pantry to make this dinner. On the menu for today is chicken stir fry, and I have made this recipe so many times before. It is so easy to whip up, and right here I am making a substitute for soy sauce because that's a big ingredient in this recipe. I'm doubling, actually I think I tripled the sauce for it this time, so I didn't have any soy sauce and I had to substitute and make my own. So I used Gemini. Actually, I think I Googled it, and Google helped me make my own soy sauce. And so I used ketchup and barbecue sauce. Never thought that would work, but it actually did. I was pleasantly surprised because, again, I didn't have any soy sauce. I had no way to go get soy sauce, so I had to improvise, and thank God I had the ingredients in my refrigerator to make the substitution. So I am just cutting up the chicken for the stir fry, and I'm getting that ready to get thrown in the pan. But this meal is so quick and so simple. And so on a busy night or on a night where you just don't, want to cook, I just do this one. And it whips up quickly and I don't have to, it's not a lot of prep work. It seems like it is, but honestly, you just cut up the peppers and the chicken, and that's pretty much it. And you have to make the sauce, but the sauce is easy, especially if you already have soy sauce and you're not having to substitute it. But I will definitely link this down below if you want to try it. I have been making this for a few years now, and I just am so thankful to have this recipe when life gets busy and hectic, or I have days like this. The last couple of weeks, I just haven't had a whole ton of energy, so this is one of the meals that I make when I don't have a whole ton of energy because it's just an easy throw together meal, and I pretty much always have everything on hand that I need, except sometimes I do run out of the sesame seed oil, but other than that, I typically have everything I need for this recipe. And on hot nights where it is summertime and I don't feel like being in the kitchen for a while, this meal is definitely my go-to because I don't have to be in there slaving away for hours and hours, and so I can just whip it up. I want to say it's about maybe 45 minutes that it takes me, and that's just because, if like this time I had to substitute some things. Also, I don't show it at the end, but I always pair this with angel hair pasta because I don't know, it just adds more to it. It just makes it more, it gives it more, it just helps, stretch it. And so I always add angel hair pasta to it as well. And so the Gemini told me, not Gemini, I keep saying that. That's mainly what I use when I'm like looking for recipe like substitutes, when I'm having to substitute things. But I did this with Google, and Google told me not to add any more honey because the ketchup and the barbecue sauce would be sweet enough, but I did. I still added honey, and that's what it looks like when it is done. Now, moving on to the star of the show. You guys, okay, so this was not the same day, but I thought if it's Sunday supper, you have to have dinner and dessert sometimes. So I threw this in here. So this is Rayleigh's red velvet cake that she wanted for her birthday. Her birthday was on Thursday, and so she asked for nachos and red velvet cake. I didn't add the nachos to this video, but you will see that in a later video. But anyways, so I am just making her red velvet cake, and I used, oh, what is the recipe? I think it was the Preppy Kitchen. Yes, the Preppy Kitchen. That is the recipe that I used, and you guys, this red velvet cake was so delicious. So I definitely highly recommend, if you need a red velvet cake recipe, to try this one. There's a lot of ingredients that go into it, but it is so good. It was so good, so moist, and the icing. I've made cinnamon rolls on here and on my videos before, and I told Rayleigh that I will always be using the icing for the red velvet cake on my cinnamon rolls. Now, this icing was just so good. And so I just had to share this recipe with you guys because if you like red velvet cake and you can't seem to find the right recipe, definitely give this one a try. I want to say it got like 4.9 or 5 stars out of a ton of reviews. People raved about this red velvet cake, and I definitely see why, because it was absolutely delicious. And that the only thing that mattered, of course, was Rayleigh and if she loved it, and she absolutely loved it. And so that was all I cared about. But I had to share this because yeah, it was definitely very, very good. Maybe I've already asked this in one of my other Sunday supper videos, but if I haven't, I'm asking it now. What are some dinners that you make on Sundays? I know typically we used to make big like roast or stews and stuff like that. I haven't done that in a while. I maybe should bring that back. I remember there like having like big fried chicken dinners and stuff like that. So, you guys tell me, do you make big Sunday dinners? And if so, what do you make? I definitely would love to hear. I think that I want to try and start bringing back like good big Sunday dinners, just because that's I don't know. Well, I don't know why that. I think I do know why that's a thing, because going to church and then coming home and then you have the big dinner. So I believe that's why it has been. But I definitely want to hear from you. What is it that you make on Sundays? And also, what is your favorite dessert? Cake. Let's do cake. What is your favorite cake? I would definitely say mine would be a tie between strawberry and red velvet. I thought that was funny that Rayleigh picked red velvet because Adam's favorite cake was red velvet, between red velvet and chocolate. And so I've always been like strawberry, vanilla, but then after Adam and I got married and he like wanted red velvet cake, I definitely like red velvet cake a lot. So what is your favorite cake? Let me know that down below as well. Typically, I always buy the kids, usually, they like the ice cream, like the Oreo ice cream cakes for their birthday cakes, but Connor and Rayleigh are kind of getting away from that. So Connor usually likes the Oreo dirt pudding for his birthday, and so I usually make that for him. And Colt loves the Oreo ice cream cake, and Rayleigh, typically that's what I would get her, but this time she chose to go with this cake. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me as I made dinner and dessert. And Lord willing, I will see you on the next one.